Xbox is giving us everything we want. What is up, y'all? I'm Ray, and this is my channel, Xbox Ready, where we get on and we talk about Xbox stuff. The latest news, rumors, games, accessories, pretty much anything I want to talk about as long as it's about Xbox in some way. Now, I went to the Game Awards last night, and it's always awesome to be in the theater, especially hearing the live music, the Game of the Year medleys, getting to catch up with old friends. But from an Xbox perspective, I walked away from the night with not a lot to talk about. They revealed the release date for Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred. South of Midnight won an award. It was a Games for Impact award, and they took the opportunity to announce that they were porting the game over to PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch consoles. Anyone hoping for an Elder Scrolls 6 trailer or any other of these big Xbox games, well, we weren't left with a lot to talk about. I was just sending tweets out into the void. President of Xbox Game Studios, Matt Booty, said it was a nice button for Xbox's year because they went into the night with 10 nominations, walked out with 2 awards. Yeah, all well and good for those teams. They worked hard, they went through a lot this year. But in terms of what Xbox fans want, all of our questions were answered the day before when Matt Booty did this interview with Variety. Even though Xbox had a light presence at the Game Awards, Matt Booty confirmed some really actually exciting things coming our way in 2026. Now, I literally just did a video of I don't know, 2026 could be really, really awesome. We're supposed to get this game, this game, this game, Fable included, but I'm not so sure. It was delayed once, and if it doesn't make it to Developer Direct, I'm feeling a little less good about it coming out in 2026. Matt basically went ahead and put all of those worries ahead because he confirmed, he was like, I can't say what exactly is gonna be in our Developer Direct showcase that we do every January, but I will say that Playground Games is going to be featured in it. Now, we know Playground Games is working on 2 games at the moment, Forza Horizon 6 and the reboot of Fable. And that Fable reboot, that's the one that I've been waiting on for years at this point. That original Fable is one of those games that really set up my love for video games, for RPGs, me running around Albion trying to save up enough money for a house, praying, hoping to God that all these merchants get through the forest without succumbing to the Balverines. Who knew that sneaking into my brother's room as a kid to play Fable would set me on this path to be a YouTuber, to be a gaming content creator? All that to say is that I'm really looking forward to this Fable reboot. I'm also very nervous. I have high expectations. And of course, Playground Games, they've never made a game like this before, as far as I know. It used to be Lionhead Studios. They since shut that down. But everything we've been hearing about the development cycle, outside of the delay, of course, has been positive. And if Playground Games is on track to be featured in Developer Direct, that means that Forza Horizon 6 and Fable have a strong chance of being shown off. And if they get shown off, they are pretty much a lock to release in 2026. Xbox only shows off games in Developer Direct that are releasing that year. They're not doing us dirty anymore, revealing a really awesome game, showing us something super cool, and then being like, yeah, you're gonna have to wait 5-10 years for it. And of course, Forza Horizon 6 is gonna be awesome. That's just not the genre that I usually go for. No matter what, Developer Direct 2026 is shaping up to be one of Xbox's biggest yet. They've been doing this for a couple of years now. I believe the first year was 2022. And in the past, while it's a smaller scale showcase meant to go a little bit deeper into each game that they show off, Xbox is not afraid to make a little splash with Developer Direct, like when they shadow dropped Hi-Fi Rush. And if I'm remembering correctly, they also did it with Ninja Gaiden Black. As an Xbox fan, you're definitely going to want to tune in this year, or just keep up on Twitter, wherever you get your Xbox news. This video is brought to you by Fume. Listen, we're all human. We make mistakes, and in today's day and age, everyone is obsessed with short-term dopamine gains, whether it's scrolling mindlessly through social media on your phone, or maybe something a little bit more detrimental to your health. Do anything enough times, and it becomes a habit, something that you mindlessly do, whether you're anxious or you're just bored. So the next time you're reaching for something or you're about to do something you probably shouldn't be doing, why don't you go ahead and reach for Fume instead? It's a flavored air device. It has no nicotine. It's just flavored air. There's not even a battery in it. It's really easy to use. All you got to do is just twist it, and then you expose a little flavor core cartridge right there. They got a ton of flavors. Right now I have grapefruit in mine. And despite its straightforward design, it has a really nice weight to it. This top part is metallic. This wood finish feels really nice. It feels cool to just fidget around with it. Right now, Fume is running a special on their Journey packs. It comes with everything that you need to kick those bad habits. It comes with this, the Fume Solano, and a ton of other flavor packs, and they'll even throw in a couple of extra toppers. So if you want to check out Fume for yourself, you can go on over to tryfume.com/XboxReady or scan this QR code, and if you use my code, you can get a free Fume topper when you order a Journey Pack. Thanks again to Fume for sponsoring this video. And from what Matt is saying, Developer Direct in 2026 is going to be pretty much all first-party games, which is in stark contrast to last year, where it was mostly third-party, including Expedition 33. On top of Forza Horizon 6 and Fable, we could potentially see Gears of War E-Day and Halo Campaign Evolve, which have previously been teased as coming out in 2026. If all of the games are featured, all of them are coming out in 2026, that is just going to make for a massive 25th anniversary for Xbox. In this interview, Matt is claiming that 2026 is going to be a banner year for Xbox. It's just going to be banger after banger after banger coming from Xbox Game Studios. And they need every single one of them to get people's minds off of the crazy stuff that they've been doing over the past couple of months. If they have stuff in the tank, they need to empty it out now. It's a really great time for them to build momentum heading into next generation, especially when they're in this transition period of going more into PC stuff. He said that they're coming out with so many things, they won't even be able to fit all of it in Developer Direct. In a previous video, I mentioned that Clockwork Revolution, made by inXile Entertainment, is also supposed to be coming out in 2026. And with everything else that we know that Xbox is working on, it's entirely possible that we'll get a dark horse, at least an update to something like State of Decay 3. Matt also had some stuff to say about Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Now, this game has been having a rough time in the news cycle and on Twitter and on the internet in general. It's not going as well as Activision may have hoped, though Matt did mention that it's still the top played game on Game Pass and just one of the top games in general on the Xbox platform, if not the number one. But listen, they have to be careful with how they handle Call of Duty going into the future. Call of Duty, no matter what they do, it's pretty much a lock that it's going to sell a bunch of copies. It's absolutely one of the reasons that Microsoft went through so much trouble to acquire Activision Blizzard. But Call of Duty as a franchise, it's in such a weird place. It's so different from the games that I grew up with. And part of that has to do with them releasing a game every 2 seconds. Okay, not every 2 seconds, every year. And I get it. Listen, I understand what it's like to put something out there content-wise because you feel like you need to feed the machine, because you feel like you need to keep it going. But the reality is that people have Call of Duty fatigue. They've had it for a couple of years at this point. And it's only gonna get worse if they, year after year, are just flooding the market with new Call of Duty games, not even giving their player base, their customers, time to really marinate with the game that they just bought. And when they release a game year after year after year, of course they're gonna try off-the-wall stuff like, oh, fight this like giant zombie guy and like all this weird stuff that we're seeing in Black Ops 7 campaign. It's diluting the brand, and it seems at least that they're aware of this, because Matt Booty did say that they're not gonna do back-to-back releases like sequels of Call of Duty games. They're never gonna have another situation where they release Black Ops 6 and then a year later release Black Ops 7. Honestly, if they really could swing it, I'm sure a lot of people would appreciate just no Call of Duty game at all for a year. Just take a break. Go back in the lab and figure out what people really, really want. Because let's be real, everyone's talking about Battlefield 6. As of right now, the majority of players, or at least from what I see on social media, YouTube, amongst my other gamer friends, Battlefield 6 is resonating with them way more than Black Ops 7. So Microsoft, Xbox, Activision, they have to be really careful with Call of Duty going forward, because if they churn out games and stray further from what the core identity of Call of Duty is, it may not happen overnight, but the power that comes with the Call of Duty name, the same power that keeps it in the top played games on Xbox, no matter what, that's going to be in serious jeopardy, because then that allows publishers like EA with Battlefield 6 or any other studio that puts out an FPS game that specifically targets those disgruntled Call of Duty players. If they don't rethink things, Activision and therefore Xbox could be in serious trouble, and no, a movie will not help that. In this interview, Matt also touched on the whole $80 game fiasco. Now, if you've already forgotten, there was a brief period of time where Xbox thought it would be an amazing idea to raise the price of the Outer Worlds 2 from $70 to $80. And not just the Outer Worlds 2, that was going to be a blanket price increase for all of their first-party games. And as you can imagine, people were pissed. You can only take so many price increases. The outrage, the backlash was swift. You couldn't ignore it. And for the first time, and I think ever, I watched Xbox walk back one of their decisions and said, okay, just kidding, guys, we're not going to raise the price to $80. We're keeping it at $70. And honestly, that is the smartest thing that they could have done. On top of all of the other price increases that we've been hit with, $80 minimum for all Xbox first-party games, that would have just been too much to bear. Now, keep in mind, at the time, this was pre-price increase for Game Pass and all that restructuring that happened. So you could write it off as like, okay, yeah, sure, maybe this is going to be $80, but I could just pay $20 for Ultimate and play it that way. But that shit doesn't exist anymore since they decided to raise the price on that too. Time for a fume break. Listen, I know what's going to happen eventually. I'm sure publishers and studios, they are just dying, chomping at the bit to raise the price of their games. But none of them want to be the first ones to do it. Obviously, we've seen some Switch 2 titles reach that $80 price tag, but Nintendo can just do whatever they want, I guess. Money is tight nowadays, and $80, like, that just takes it out of that impulse buy range. If you're spending $80, you're doing so with the expectation like it's going to give you $80 worth of value. It's going to be a damn good game that you play for many years to come, which just puts that much more pressure on the whole system, on the publishers, on the studios, on the devs to deliver on those expectations. And again, it seems that Xbox is aware of it. Matt is aware of this because he says our whole focus is delivering player satisfaction and delivering player value. And that used to be such an easy threshold, an easy goal for Xbox to make. Back in the days of $15, $20 Game Pass subscription plans. I used to get on here all the time and be like, hey, I just tried this game. I liked it. You may not like it, but who cares, right? Because you're probably subscribed to Game Pass, whether it's Game Pass Standard or Ultimate, and you could just try it out as part of your subscription, man. And if you don't like it, you could just move on with your life. You don't have to have that buyer's remorse of like, oh man, I paid full price for Redfall, ended up hating it. What do I do now? That doesn't really exist anymore because those day one editions, if you want them, you got to pay $30 a month for that Ultimate tier of Game Pass, or if you're on PC, 16, 17 bucks a month. Can Xbox deliver the value here? Because let's be real, in tech and in games, people don't mind spending money if the product is good. And if 2026 is even a fraction as good as what I'm hoping it's going to be with all of these games we were just talking about coming out, I feel like Xbox can deliver on that value proposition. Circling back to the multi-platform stuff, we touched on it briefly earlier, talking about South of Midnight going to PlayStation and Switch consoles. Matt also touched on it in this interview with Variety. While a good portion of the internet was all up in arms when they announced that Halo Campaign Evolved was coming to PlayStation, bringing that franchise over for the first time, Matt says that when they revealed it at the Halo World Championship, a room full of Halo superfans, the vibes were really good. People were excited. I can't verify that for myself, so I'm just going to take his word for it. I personally don't mind a remake like that being ported to PlayStation. What's really going to be weird is these new installments in these iconic Xbox franchises being released for PlayStation the same day, like Fable, like Gears E-Day, like Forza Horizon 6. We know that's all coming, especially since Forza Horizon 5 did so well on PlayStation 5. Even with South of Midnight, when they announced it at the Game Awards that it was going multi-platform, I didn't really mind it as much. We had a year of exclusivity on it. That seemed nice. That's what I wanted in the first place. Give us a year of exclusivity, give us first dibs on it before porting it over to other consoles. And unfortunately, that doesn't really seem like what they're gonna do. My logic was like, okay, yeah, keep it exclusive for a year. If the game is good enough, people will either subscribe to Game Pass or buy a Series S for it. Now the Series S is $400, Game Pass is $30. Again, that doesn't really, that line of thinking is just out the window. The truth is, we don't know how Xbox is gonna handle exclusives or timed exclusive windows anymore. It's been different for pretty much every game that they ship. I thought for sure that they would have ported over Starfield by now, but there's no word on that. Indiana Jones, we had a good, like, I don't know, like 4, 5, maybe 6 months. I don't even think we got that. I think we got like a couple months, like from December when it released in 2024 to March when it got onto PlayStation 5. So like if Indiana Jones got a couple months, South of Midnight got almost a whole year, then what are they going to do with Clockwork Revolution, State of Decay 3, any new Halo game, Gears E-Day, Fable? What's going on with that? And does it even matter anymore? Like, does it really affect my life? Everyone that works for Xbox Game Studios seems pumped that they get to be able to do this. Like, they want to put their games on other platforms. So if that's what the devs want, the people who are pouring their blood, sweat, and tears into these games that we all love and enjoy, I say just do whatever they want to do. Multi-platform or not, it really seems like Xbox is positioned to make 2026 a special year for fans. Whether you're a longtime one like me, you remember playing Fable some like 20 years ago, or you're a lifetime PlayStation fan getting to play Halo for the first time on your console, I personally can't wait to see what they do with the Developer Direct, and you know we're going to be talking about it here on Xbox Ready. So if you made it this far into the video, consider subscribing. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Also, just another quick shout out to our sponsor for today's video, Fume.